Welcome to another episode of Morelia Python Radio, and in this episode, we're talking to Jake Freeman of Convicted Constrictors about what else? Carpet pythons. But first, Owen, how are you? How you been?
Very tired. Just very, very tired, and I would recommend to the world out there is when you buy a new freezer, measure twice. So that's all I'm going to say on that. But had to redo the snake room because I bought a new freezer from a friend of mine, and it did not fit where I wanted it to go. So,
yeah, I got to find a local rodent person because I went to buy rodents. Yeah. Holy shit!
Yeah, you know what sucks is that my last rodent bill was $700, and that's my normal. I didn't go crazy. That was like my usual end of summer. Fill up the freezer so I'm going to heavy feed kind of a thing, $700 because the price of his feed had gone up. So that means the price of each bag goes up. So,
wow.
Yeah.
Well, let's not waste any time. Yeah. Jake, welcome to Morelia Python Radio. But are you breeding your own rodents or do you buy?
No, you don't want to be one of those people?
No, I did for a little bit, but I don't know. It's too much work, man.
Yeah. It's like having a collection on top of a collection. I have one box of mice, and that's all I'll go with. Is a little trio that produce enough fuzzies to keep me occupied, and then we have the rat army that is slowly growing. That it's out of my hands and controlled now.
Wow. Okay. Okay, so let's go ahead, Owen. You can,
Jake. Obviously, the first time we have people on the show, we always want to know, what kind of drew you into reptiles, and then Morelia specifically.
Well, reptiles, I don't know, man. It's kind of always been like that. You know what I mean? As a kid, I just was always outside catching garter snakes or ringneck snakes or salamanders or whatever. I couldn't keep reptiles in my house, so I didn't really keep anything. Well, I was probably 13 or 14, and my kind of talked my dad into letting me get a lizard. So I got a eastern collared lizard.
Okay.
And then I think I was 17, almost 18, and me and my brother got an apartment. And then, I don't know, I kind of went crazy then.
All right. Well, what was the first Morelia?
I had got a couple of pop ones back then, but I didn't have them long. I started keeping carpets until a year and a half ago.
Okay. So
I was kind of out. I started with berms and retics and stuff like that in probably 05, 06. And then I think 08 or something like that, I kind of got out. And then I started keeping again in 2017. And, of course, fell into the whole ball python thing. And I bred them for a few years and kind of got bored of it. And, keeping ball pythons and stuff, I kind of got in that circle and started, following Chris Sexton from Hella Guy Serpents and stuff, and he's posting carpets and stuff like that. So finally I bought a carpet from Travis Johnson.
Okay.
Living Reckless. And after that it was over. I kind of made the decision to sell all the ball pythons and buy carpets.
Okay. So what was that first one from Travis?
Just a coastal. Well, I guess now you would say coastal type or traditional, you know what I mean?
The traditional coastals, the American coastal. I don't know. It's like American cheese. We don't know what it is.
I'm always curious, like what made you
choose that?
Go from carpets to, like, you were with you kind of sort of did similar to me, right? The big snakes, and then you moved to ball pythons. Like, what about carpets made you just
jump ship?
These are what I want to work with.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much all I had was ball pythons, and you just go in there and you open the rack and there's a snake laying there. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay.
It's just different. I mean, it's more interactive, and plus, I always like the bigger snakes, but I mean, I don't have the space for them now, and really it's not practical. You know what I mean? I got a bunch of kids. I got limited space, so it's still a way to have big snakes and also a snake that's more interactive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
I understand that. So, all right. And what's your carpet collection look like now? What you're working with?
I don't know, everything.
Okay.
Now I got some of the first stuff I bought that from that traditional coastal from Travis, and then trying to think of what I bought next. No, I bought another. It was a coastal diamond cross, and then I bought two. I bought a pair of gelatins from Nick right after that. I bought like all the stuff I bred last year. Most of it came from Psychotic Exotics, like my double head granite, my zebra head granite. Actually, the granite jag I have that's the one that you kind of hear Lucas talk about falling off the perch and stuff.
Okay. Yeah.
But I bought that one, and I mean, I bought a handful of adults because I'm kind of impatient. You know what I mean? I want freedom. I bought a bunch of stuff to raise up too. I've got the gelatins. I bought a hypo from Nick. I got a 50% ivory jungle from Nick.
Cool.
I just got some Nova Guineas.
Okay. How you liking them?
Yeah.
They're cool, man. I'm gonna get a couple more.
It's add to the list. Yeah.
The ones I have, man. If you never heard of them, you'd think they were jacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really,
I find it crazy that more work hasn't been done with that to like improve that.
Yeah, I don't get it, but
you know, they seem to be like back in the day. They were kind of like there was a time when they were kind of hot for a minute, and then
everybody kind of wanted them, and then it kind of fell off. I don't. There's only a few. Who's working with them that we know of consistently?
Kohler.
Yeah, I was gonna say Kohler.
Hunt, Billy Hunt.
Yeah.
Nick.
Travis. So it's like
Travis.
4 or 5 compared to like other projects. You have.
Yeah, I have a pair, and I think
you just assume
Riley
you're
has
part
a pair.
of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's weird like
that anymore, man.
Well, I mean, for an animal that has like that is such cool looking and has such a deep following without any kind of more stuff attached, you figure there'd be more people wanting to plug into it. So
yeah,
weird.
I mean, I think it definitely have potential. I mean, they don't have as much color as most pop ones do, but I mean, they've just been paired to produce more because there's only a couple paired around.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, as much as people wouldn't like it, you know what I mean, you could probably do something with them to make, you know, similar animals to jags without the jag.
I mean, I think people would like that.
Yeah. I mean,
wow, that's an interesting question, right? If you breed a Nova Guinea to a jungle,
could you get close to a
would
jag?
you make a looking like a jungle jag
Non-Nero
looking
jag
animal?
Yeah.
That's not Nero?
I don't know if you would at first, but
you could eventually get there.
If you picked out the ones that were kind of going that direction, you know what I mean? I wouldn't say it's impossible.
Yeah. Huh.
But I mean, you know.
Somebody out there is going to be like, "Oh, I got a new project."
Somebody out there who's reeling from what they just learned in the book is going to be like, "Finally, my day has come." So, yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So you have you weren't drawn to one section of
you didn't
carpets. You sort of wanted the whole
a light side or a dark side. Yeah.
I mean, I kind of prefer the coastals a little bit more. I mean, they're just at least over jungles. I mean, they're just easy to work with. Most of the jungles I have are just psycho.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's, as they get older, I've had a couple that are, you know, they calm down, but it's just different.
Right.
Another thing I noticed is I hatched a lot of zebras this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, these are all crosses because they're granite, you know, possible het albino and whatnot. But every zebra is like that. Every single zebra is like that. But, you know, the non-zebra ones, you can reach in and pick them up.
So I've produced 3 clutches of the genes with granite and zebra, and every single animal from those clutches are just psychotic. Like, I don't know what it is about the granite and the zebra gene. I don't know if it's like because they're sort of like, I don't know. I don't know, man.
There's something to it. I mean,
yeah, whoo, they're fire. Holy shit, they want to take you out.
Yeah, my zebras from this past year have been rather vicious, but like he said, like, you know, with the normals aren't really that bad. Like it just something about the zebras, they're just a little bit more on point.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
Oh. Oh, go ahead.
I got nothing. Go for it. I'm trying to figure something out here.
So, what, are you trying to solve an experiment?
No,
there?
no,
Like,
no, it's
you
fine.
just got a look on your face like, oh, it's so serious. All right, so so what's like your main project? Like, what's the project you're like 100%? This is what I want. Coastals? Is that where you're at?
I don't know. I mean, coastals, probably pop ones. I got a couple of them.
I saw those ones. I think you posted up a picture. They said they were in quarantine or something.
Yeah,
they were nice.
Yeah.
So one is a wild caught.
They're together. I mean, honestly, I expect her to ovulate pretty soon.
Okay, yeah, they usually go.
She's thick and she's got the tracks down her belly and stuff. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I think she's gonna go. I didn't know if I wanted to pair her because she's pretty small, but she's also a pop one. So, I mean, I really don't know what people, you know, kind of usually.
You'd be surprised. Like, it seems like everything can drop 7 to 10 eggs if you're not paying attention. So, yeah. Cool.
So she's let me just make sure I got it right. She's the wild caught one?
No, the male is.
The male, okay.
So
he's
shooting.
nice. He's got some nice banding and stuff. He's pretty nice.
So you're shooting for some just some outcrossed papa ones with that one?
Well, I mean, the female isn't documented, so
Okay.
I mean, basically, you know what I mean. But I can't prove what she is for sure. So
Gotcha.
Right. So, well, that's an interesting question. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, how do you feel
as
about
far as
undocumented?
being somebody? Is that a no go? Well, clearly it's not a no go if you got it some. But do you prefer the documented?
Yeah, I think it's always better to have documentation. I mean, that's really the only way to know for sure what you have, regardless of what they look like. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Looks can be deceiving. I had a couple from the double head albino granite clutch that look pretty close to the pop ones.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't have the orange, but they're close.
They could definitely pass as them. Okay, so what? So what other? What's the other projects you're?
The granites. I mean, something I'm, especially since you know I had quite a few nice ones. You know what I mean? That's something I'm gonna lean a lot of focus to. You know what I mean?
And are these pure Papuan granites, or are you just kind of just trying to make really cool granites?
Yeah, these zebra granites.
Yep.
Yeah.
Zebra. I got a granite zebra jag. I got a couple. I kept a pair of zebra granites. Most of them are the ones from the double head clutch. They're 50% head albino too. And
That's
I
cool.
kept back a handful of possible double heads just to play with.
Cool.
Gotcha. So are you hoping for a granite super zebra or is
Albino
that
granite
trying to avoid
super
that?
zebra?
Yeah.
The granite super zebra is something I want to, of course, get to. The albino, I'm not as focused on it. You know what I mean? I kind of feel like albino takes away from some stuff.
Yep.
Yeah,
You know?
I'd agree to that.
Yeah, it's weird. I guess when albino was like the only thing you could get, it had more allure, but it seems to have kind of, I don't know, maybe my hand's off the pulse, but it doesn't seem as popular as it once was.
I think everybody wanted to see, like, was rushing to see what an albino this would look like, and then once we get it, they're like, okay, cool, and then they move on to the next.
They kind of
thing.
all look the same, no?
Exactly.
I mean,
like everybody wants to see an albino zebra, then they get it, and they're like, oh, okay, it's hard to tell, and then they move on. And it's like, okay.
I think if I was going to see an albino, I like those, as much as it's sacrilege to say, like those albino Brettles and inlands.
That is sacrilege, sir. My
Yeah, but they look
God.
friggin' sweet,
Oh my
man.
God.
They look really nice, man. You can't tell me they don't let.
I can
orange.
now.
Right? Are you with me, Jake?
I agree. That's not the only thing. That picture Don Patterson has in the book too. Now,
Oh, yeah.
the Stonewashed Jag. I don't know.
The Scream stuff or
Whatever it is.
Yeah.
I feel like there's something else in there, but I don't know.
Reduced pattern.
The Morelia
who knows
buffet,
what,
where
diamond
it's pretty
jungle.
much one from every table. Yeah.
But one thing's for sure, it's crazy looking.
Yeah.
The golden.
I think
golden
the other
corral
one that I
carpet.
would like,
Just everything.
the
on
other
the
one
floor.
I would like to see albino, which would actually be pure, would be, down in Australia, they have the hypo Darwin.
Yeah.
And if you put that with albino, you would get like a real
Sunglows.
true sun glow with that orange, I think would pop.
That
I'd
would
like to
be
see it.
fun.
I'd like to see.
You know what I'm talking?
I don't know that it could beat that Hypo Darwin though.
Oh, no.
No.
Good Lord, man. That thing
Man,
is sweet.
Crazy.
But that would be cool to line up the hype, like the sun glow, like the two different sun glows that you could get. Like,
Yeah.
that'd be cool.
I wonder if
that.
Troy's. I wonder if Troy's doing that. I would imagine he is, but man, those hypo Darwins are just.
If Troy hasn't thought of it
charts.
and like he's listening to us now and he's like, Eureka, like, I mean, like, what are you been doing this whole time?
I don't
Troy?
think so.
Like, we just thought of this. Like, you should have been on this months ago, years ago. But yeah.
Do you have any feelings as far as the super zebra and like that's another one that has seemed to? I don't see
DuckTales or don't DuckTales. Like, let's go back to those wonderful comments.
No. I just don't see them as much as I used to. I don't know. As people I think it's not even the tail thing. It's just the eggs going bad during incubation is the issue. Have you thought about that? Or
Yeah, I've thought
any
about
thoughts?
it, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I haven't seen it for myself, so I don't want to, say this or that about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, I'll try it.
Yeah.
If it doesn't work out, then maybe, maybe I'll.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I get what would be causing them to die in the egg like that. I don't know why.
I think you're right. Where it's like we saw them for a while, and then people made super zebras, but then nobody really chased down refining a super zebra like they did refining jungles and refining zebras. They were just like, there they are.
I think it's because of the egg situation.
Yeah, maybe.
I think if you're trying to either do this as a living or trying to push ahead a project, and you just get
Every egg is
kicked in
precious.
the nards every season. You know what I mean? Like, take a page from the bowling people. It's kind of like that kind of deal.
Well, and also it can be frustrating if a female isn't cooperating. Like this is my final year with my het exanic coastal. If she didn't breed, she's gone, man. I can't. I got bigger things I got other things that need cages, and you can't just sit there with the same female trying year after year after year and then get nothing. So,
yeah. So what are you doing with the hypo? What's your approach with the hypo project?
This year, I don't know. I just started pairing stuff, and he's kind of. He don't act like he wants anything to do with it. But, I mean, it's early, so.
Yeah, it is. It is very early for that. Have you seen any locks or anything from anybody?
No, I mean, he just kind of stays away from her So I pulled him, but I was going to pair him to MBB Red just to see what happens, because people talked about it, but
Yeah.
People talk about it, but then nobody pulls the trigger, right?
Nobody has the guts
everybody's
to do it.
Could you imagine doing that? All right, we'll do it. No. It's like,
I would imagine it's going to be like the caramel. That would be my guess. What's your thoughts?
Similar.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm going to try it.
Yeah. I'm going to try it eventually, too.
If he just so happens to not want to go, I'm going to have a striped M-Pen male I think I'll put to her.
Okay.
And I've been debating, I don't know, I'm kind of going back and forth. Do I want to put him to the Granite Jag or...
Hell yeah.
well, like you can do
a hypo granite jag?
The good thing is he's a bull.
Yeah, man.
You can do all of these things if he's really driven, you know. You might just have to make
Yeah.
Hopefully he'll come around. I mean, it's still early. I started pairing early last year. Like, last year was the first year I bred him. I paired early last year, and all my ovulations were... probably end of January, beginning of February.
Yeah.
Okay. Where are you at? You East Coast, West Coast?
Yeah, I'm in Virginia.
Virginia. Okay. All right. So you got similar.
Yeah,
I
kind of do the pairing early, but then it's really cool because then it kind of staggers. You have your ones that are really driven and they get going, and like you said, ovulations by the end of January. But then you have some of the stragglers where you don't start seeing locks till like mid-February. But that's fine. Because then you're not buried under a mountain of baby carpets that don't want to eat. You can kind of spread it out. So.
I produced 3 clutches last year, and I only saw one lock from one pair. No.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well,
I didn't see a single other lock.
No?
Sometimes it can be sneaky,
I
man.
don't know, but I mean, that's the one thing. Breeding ball pythons before that kind of helped me because I caught every ovulation. You know what I mean? I was already used to seeing stuff like that, so I knew that they had done something, but
right.
I would start to worry. I actually, as long as it wasn't too cold, like if it was 75 and above, and the process of me cooling, I might take them out and offer a meal just to see if they'd eat them. Like, I don't know, you know what I mean?
Right.
See, the problem is that some of my guys, I swear to God, it could be 50 degrees in their cage, and they're going to take a swing at that rat. Like, they don't care.
Yeah, I have females still trying to jump out of the cage.
Yeah. If it's a bred lie, it's always on. Like, it'll eat when it's frozen. So
when we were in Australia, right, the first carpet we found, it was pouring rain, and this carpet was on the move. And to me, I don't know, everybody else seemed to think it wasn't that big of a deal, but to me, it was like, why would this carpet be moving in the rain? And I immediately thought, it looked like he was hungry. Like, you know how like a carpet that hasn't eten for the season after you've bred it? You know,
it's like a tube of toothpaste, yeah.
Yeah, it kind of looked like that. It kind of resembled that to me a little bit. But I don't know. I just found like it interesting. Either that or wherever it was at got flooded out. But it wasn't that, to where the area was flooded. Especially, well, coming into that it was, but not at that specific area. But I don't know how far it would be. But I don't know, man. I just think like, so that made me think about what you just said about you guys talking about snakes eating at 50 degrees. I don't think that matters as much.
I don't think they care. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah. What do you think, Jake?
I mean, honestly, what I did last year worked good. So, I mean, I got all 3 clutches. So, I mean, I might offer a couple meals, throughout the middle of the season, just something small. Yep. I don't think it's a big deal as long as you don't go too cold and as long as they have access to that heat.
Yeah.
See, to me, when I first learned breeding, right, and to me it was I didn't understand that during the day
the sun comes up,
the temperature's normal, right? I thought that like when you dropped it, I guess it's just similar to like maybe like thinking colubrid style.
Yeah,
to where
I think you are because
I
mean, colubrids, I unplug their shit and then I leave them alone for several months. Like they're very much the set it and forget it snake, where carpets, like I don't think I would be a successful breeding if I didn't have the computer systems that do all the work for me, where I just have to set the night drop and set the daytime and then leave. Like, so.
So what was your approach to breed? I mean, I find it interesting that you bred ball python. Did you go all year round?
Yeah, I mean, I did, but a majority of them would, it would be like April, May, June, somewhere around there.
Okay.
I mean, and they kind of got cool too. I mean, it kind of,
gets cool when it's just in your house and all that kind of stuff, right?
It kind of cooled down anyway. I don't know if that really did much of anything for them, but yeah, I mean, with them, all I did was, every few weeks or maybe every month or every other month, depending on where I'm at, just palpate them. And once you start to feel the follicles, just start pairing.
Right. Yeah. It seems like, and this is another weird thing for me, like coming from ball pythons to carpets, it was like, they seem to be not as focused on the season, similar to like what you're saying. It's just sort of watching that female. Once she starts to build, then it doesn't matter when it is, then you put it. Whereas like when I was learning carpets, it was like, oh, well, you have to cool down, you wait X amount of time, then you put them together. Did you have trouble navigating that, or you just watched the female and went for it?
Not really. Well, I kind of went by the kind of standard, you know what I mean? I listened to all the episodes, breeding episodes on NPR, and I read the complete carpet python before all that. So I kind of got an idea, and I started pairing, I think, beginning to mid-November last year, somewhere around there.
Okay.
I just started cooling and pairing. And I mean, this year, before I even started cooling, I had a couple of females kind of staying on the colder side just themselves, So,
right.
So it was basically last year was your first year carpets. Yeah. Jeez.
Yeah, he killed it.
Yeah, man. You didn't run screaming for the hills. All right. It's good.
Okay.
So go ahead. I mean, so with the build up too, because we still kind of technically, I should be in the starve right now where I'm letting everybody empty out. Do you do a build up of food? Like, do you hype up the food or increase the amount of food before we're going into cool down and starve season?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. I mean, this year especially, I kind of got, I don't know, lazy trying to get babies feeding and all this. So I really didn't start feeding until maybe 3 months ago. And I was like, oh crap. I better
oh, shit. Yeah. Cool.
But, yeah, I do that, and then I basically let them empty out. But I mean, I think especially right around the time I start bringing temperatures back up, I might offer a couple meals just to see how it goes.
I think that's smart because then you also do get the female who might be maybe a late ovulator to push it, and also, I mean, she's gonna. I don't know why. There's some carpets that'll eat all the way through pregnancy, and there's some that will just shut down completely. So if you can get food into her before she shuts down, I think that only helps you in the long run when it comes down to that kind of stuff. So do you offer, you said you offer smaller meals when they come up though, just something a little bit like a step lower?
I mean, mainly just because it's cooler, you know what I mean? I feel like it'll be easier for them to digest, something smaller.
Cool. All right. Yeah. So when do you really start dropping temps? I guess because you're in Virginia, kind of like we're the same up here. I mean, I don't start fiddling with temperatures until December. Of course, I say that, and we're in the middle of a freaking cold spell right now that would be very nice to start dropping temps and stuff like that. So, I don't. Do you usually wait to December?
I mean, I didn't last year, and then this year, I mean, I was going to do the same thing and started dropping a couple weeks ago, just a little bit. I just started to, and that's whenever we got that big warm front that came in, and it got real warm.
It's ruined everything. Yeah.
I mean, it was at the beginning, so I don't think it really matters.
Right.
But right now, I'm cooling a little bit. Just a couple of degrees, and I'll make sure that it stays cold. Hopefully, now we'll see.
Cool. So, and now you normally. So with the ball pythons that you were keeping, was that 100% like racks, or did you have some cages with that?
I did racks with all of them.
All of them? Okay. And then obviously, I see cages behind you. Have you shifted more towards that route, or are you still kind of a mix?
I mean, I'd rather have cages. I mean, I need more, really.
Yeah.
I mean, everything bigger is in a cage. All the adult females are in a cage, and then my zebra het granite's in a cage because it's
massive.
huge.
Yeah. There's that one boy that's like all the girls are in a cage, and there's one male who just can't go in a bin. So.
Yeah. But everything else, like the males are 600, 700, 800 grams. Everything else I have, so I just keep them in a rack. I mean, hopefully I can move most of that stuff to cages. You know what I mean? Maybe put them in 3-footers or something like that. But
yeah. And you do males into females cages and stuff like that for breeding season. So it's good to have the cages for that too. Very cool. So now with your temps, did we talk about how low you get them down to, or do you just kind of?
No, last year I actually went down to 65.
Okay. So why'd you think you were going to go down that far?
Huh?
Why'd you think you were going to go down that far? I mean, usually some people kind of stop at 70.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I heard of this or that. I've heard a couple people say they go down a little bit lower, but I went down to 65 and I stayed there for one day and then came back up.
Okay, yeah. All right.
67, 69, you know what I mean?
Spikes. Yeah, I got it. So that's good. And then it was did you see more breeding action from like the pop ones and stuff like that before you got a little bit lower? Because usually they go earliest and like at 70 degrees.
They were instant.
Yeah.
I mean, the females already swelled up. So, I mean, they wasted no time.
Right.
I didn't see anything really. I'd lift the paper and they'd be under there curled up. But, it seems like all my animals like to hide. You know what I mean? They probably.
Yeah. I mean,
only saw one lock last year. So.
And I see the give and take of that, where it's like, of course I want to see locks because I want to know I'm on the right page. But I'll know I'm on the right page when there are eggs here. Like, I don't really need to care. Right. Like, I don't.
Well,
it's
even
fine.
Before that, I mean, if you start to see the swelling and all that, and especially if she goes back on the heat constantly and doesn't move from the heat, I mean,
isn't eating, and there's a lot more science than just getting the locks. Plus, I think there's not a bigger kick in the balls than seeing a ton of locks and then getting no eggs from anything, where it's like.
Right.
Get all yourself jazzed up, and then you're like, yeah, oh, all right. So, cool. So now heat sources. Are you doing radiant heat panels, lights? What are you using so far?
Yeah, I got radiant heat panels in the cages, and, I use just heat tape on all the racks.
Mm-hmm.
Except I got one vision rack, which uses the cord.
Cord, yeah. Any preference between the cord or the tape, or?
I mean, I haven't had a problem with either, really. I don't know. I think the tapes, because I built a couple of my racks and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the tape's just easier just to put a sheet down, you know what I mean?
And then just put it down, put the wall on, and then you're done. Yeah. I get that. You don't have to route a channel or anything for the cord to go through. So. Uh-huh. And you said that how big are you getting your girls at this point? Like, I know you said the boys are like, 800 grams?
Yeah. I mean, the females that I'm breeding, came to me as adults. So the Granite Jag's not big. She might be, I don't know, look, 5, maybe close to 6 foot, probably 5 foot. And I think she has a good, good body size to her, but the double head albino granite's big, and I mean, they're I think they're 2013, so they're older animals.
Okay. What was
but, I mean, I try not to get them too big, you know what I mean?
Yeah. What was your largest clutch last year, number wise? 22?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
22, 15, and then the Granite Jag was 8 or 9.
Do you prefer the larger clutches or the smaller ones?
I mean, the large one was probably too many.
Yes.
But I mean, I think in between is good. 12, maybe 15, probably 12. I think 12's a good 12 to 15.
I think in the teens is good. Like, if you had asked me years ago, I would have been like, if it's below 20 something, what's the point? But it's like, I'd rather have like maybe 15, 16 of this animal and then give me another clutch of 15 and 16. Like, I don't need double that. I don't need 30 something of the same damn thing. So I do like in the teens, I think is where I think it's where you should be, or where it's easiest.
Yeah, I think that's pretty good. I don't know how many male zebra possible double heads I have shot.
Oh no! Here's another one and another one. Do you sex them right out of the egg, or do you kind of give them a little bit? Okay.
Yeah, I pop them right out of the egg.
Yep.
Right before I put them into their own bin.
Yep. That's the best way to do it. I don't know. It's so much easier than probing like 2 years down the road or something like that. Yeah. Cool. What the hell is that going to do? Yeah, well, there he goes. All right. So as far as, I know we kind of touched a little bit on the projects. You told us about the pop ones you got going on. Are you doing a lot of repeat pairings this year, or is it a bunch of new stuff? Or a mix of?
It's kind of a mix. I'm going to do the pop ones, the MBB red, to hopefully the hypo, but if not, I'll put that pen stripe to her. The double het granite albino, I think I'm gonna repeat that pairing. Because that one gave me I got two granite zebras in that clutch that were kind of a little bit different than the others.
Okay.
And I,
got to see where that goes.
I want a couple more like that.
That's how you build projects.
Were
they lighter? Am I thinking that like their color was lighter?
Yeah, it's just the ones I usually see, and most of the ones I hatch are just more of like a two-tone. You know, it's two colors, black and brownish. Brownish tan kind of. And the other ones were just, I don't know, the only way I can explain it is they look like real granite. You know what I mean? It's a bunch of different. It's the one I posted a while back on the hook.
Yep.
On NPR. It's just, it's different than what I usually see.
It's,
I'm going to see if I can kind of, see if a couple more like that pop out.
See what if you can kind of refine it a little bit.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yes. It's got. I like the eye too. They have like it's almost like gold eyes on them.
Yeah.
Granites are one of those ones where like I don't think I've ever seen a granite I didn't like. Like I do enjoy the morph. I do enjoy and to be honest, the idea of what could be done with them, but nobody really goes further to like increase that. Like nobody's really gone to really kind of enhance the color with this or mess with that. I mean, there's been some really stellar granites out there. It's just usually they're almost like a one and done. They pop up, somebody has them, they kind of show them off for a little bit, and then you never really kind of see the next step.
After I hatched those granite zebras, I started looking because I'm trying to figure out, what I should price them at or whatever, And I started looking, and you can't find them pretty much. And I mean, to me, that's one of the coolest carpet combos I've seen. Especially with just two genes.
Yeah.
And I really don't understand why there's not more out there.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can't say that I know a lot of people that I think I guess Kerry's not doing it anymore, I don't think. And who else? I know Dave Palumbo has.
I have a zebra head granite. Yeah, I don't know why it's here.
Came from me.
Has a couple, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sending him at some point my caramel granite zebra female. She's ready to breed. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why they're not more popular.
Certain combinations just never seem to go beyond. We got it, success all around, and then that's it. Nobody ever really went the next step, which is.
Do you think that it's because most people that are focused on zebra are not? They're not wanting to cross it.
This isn't black and yellow. Be gone. Like it's. I don't know if it was because again you never cross the streams. Like you can't cross the zebra with the pop one and then build a project that you're not going to get ridiculed for. But I don't know. Eventually, if you're that far into it, who cares?
Somebody's going to do it. Okay,
right? Go for it. Like it. This isn't not. You're already at zebra granite. The lamp's already broken. Just keep going at that point. Why are you stopping there? So I don't know. I would have liked to see more refinement because I think you could really make a lot of these animals pop.
I mean, I think I don't know. I hope Eric produces some citrus tigers this year because I think that could really.
He has another job.
Big role in something.
If it comes down to which tigers he produces this year, he knows which one are my vote. So
yeah,
I'll let him produce some citrus tigers later.
Oddly enough, I did produce a caramel zebra citrus tiger with that was het granite.
Yeah,
caramel zebra jag with citrus tiger in it. That was
het granite.
Het granite.
Wasn't that weird clutch that like
yes.
there were problems. There was like stellar baby. This one's hearts on the outside. Like it was like
no.
Okay.
No.
Different one.
That one. No. Yeah. That was the one egg I got.
Oh,
remember the citrus tiger? She got the one egg.
The one egg.
She laid that one egg. I was like, is she a chicken?
Little egg in the incubator.
She must be a chicken. I don't know.
She's like, and that's all you get. It's like, what?
So did you talk about what you want to do with the granite and the zebra? Like, what are you hoping to do? Are you trying to make it more yellow, more lavender, more?
I definitely don't want to make it yellow. Everybody wants black and yellow.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I think hypo would look good in it.
I think so too.
Kind of go more of an orange route, you know what I mean? Something like that.
Yeah. Well, that's what the citrus tiger brought. Oddly enough, it made it very, very orange, and I was like, oh yes, I'm on to something here.
What would a hypo granite?
It would look friggin' awesome. Isn't it in the book? It's in the book,
right? Yeah. Yeah.
But I think the citrus tiger can do a lot, man. I don't know. We need a few more of them out there.
Yeah, I know.
That's the
problem.
Trying. You gave me that one that you gave me another one, citrus tiger head albino boy, and it's just here, and I'm feeding it, and then it sheds, and I'm like, "Ooh, you're pretty." I'm like, no, you have to leave. Like, you must be for sale. Like, it's just, but something about citrus stuff every once in a while. I'm like, I could build a project on you. It's like, no, too money.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I always liked them. I always thought they were cool. You know what it was? It's like I always wanted a tiger retic, and like my citrus tiger girl kind of reminded me of that. Like the
and that was.
Would it be a tiger retic? You know how they have the portals in the sides?
It's the tiger. It's the super
Is that a tiger?
No, it's the super tigers that actually look like our tigers. So a super tiger retic looks like a tiger carpet.
Yeah, but I'm talking like
Oh,
so that's the one that has the portals.
Retic, has.
Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
Right.
See, that was
not
smart.
up on my.
That I just went out and got a damn retic. So that was once again you're light years ahead of me. So.
You know, I don't know. Since you're fond of the citrus tiger, Jake, what's your thoughts on like I've talked a couple times about bringing it to a red and thinking that it's going to look like those insane red jungles that Will Bird had. I swear that's what he did. I swear to you, that's what he did.
He didn't produce that. Balin did.
Did he?
Yeah, I was there.
I know, but not the ones. The other
the one
ones.
after that. Oh yeah. Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Listen, yes. Like there was. He took that thing and he bred it to a citrus. Like that is, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know. What are you doing with the citrus tiger? You have a caramel head albino?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know yet. I don't really know what I'm gonna do with them yet.
I'll tell you what. If I produce the citrus tigers, I'll send you some citrus tigers.
There you go. Then you'll know what to do with them. Like, yeah.
That's really what I'd like to do with that male is, use a citrus tiger, make at least some heck granite stuff with it, and then use that male to go back into it because, you know what I mean? You're going to have to bring more citrus tiger back into it later to kind of bring it back, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
get the morph, and then after you get the morph involved, then fiddle with the color some more. Yeah. That'd be cool.
Yeah, it's funny that you got me thinking about that now, about that granite zebra. Why? Have you had a lot of inquiries about it, or like have you had people hitting you up? That like what's the feel for what people are thinking?
I mean, I produced what 1, 2, 3? I think 5 or 6. I can't even remember. I think I sold 3 of them.
Okay,
It's not bad.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they basically sold before anything else.
Did you have to list them, or did people come to you with like
a little bit of both?
Yeah,
kind of both.
That's good. I mean, that's the sign of a good project if some of them sell before you even have to post it, or there's interest. And then also, if you have a couple holdbacks or a couple animals that bleed into next year, that's not a horrible thing, because then you can kind of see where they're going as far as development wise. You can also take back which one you were going to hold back. If one of the ones that you have up for sale turns out really good, you just slap a sticker on it and it stays with you. That's not, I don't think that's a bad thing.
Yeah. So what's your, I guess you guys were talking breeding, but did you talk about your approach to keeping? Like what's
haven't gotten there yet.
What's your basic setups?
I mean, I got all the females in cages pretty much.
Uh-huh.
Most of the smaller male, I got one big male that's in a cage, and most of my males and everything else are in racks. I keep the room at usually about 79.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, roughly. It kind of bounces around 79, 80. Sometimes in the summertime it gets up, 83. But
right.
I usually try to keep it right about 79.
Okay.
The ambient temperature in the cages is usually right about 80 during the day. Like it's 78 right now. The hot spot's probably 86.
Okay.
Maybe 87, somewhere around there.
All right.
I mean,
that's typical. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much just.
How do you? I'm curious. Do you have any thoughts on humidity? This has been something that I've been thinking about as of late.
It's during the wintertime, I get a little bit worried about it sometimes. I've had one bad shed before.
Really? Yeah.
During the winter. But usually, once they go in the shed, I'll, just, because most of my tubs and stuff, I just use, paper.
Right.
And most of them just unprinted paper.
Okay.
And I'll just overfill the water bowl a little bit, or just dump a little bit of water in there just the one time, and that's enough.
Right. That does it. Yeah.
Make sure they have a good shed.
So it's really the shit. Yeah, I don't know. It just seems like I don't know. I don't know if it's something that they need 100%, if that makes sense. But I think maybe it's something that they can benefit from. If I'm saying that right.
I mean,
I think
it's helpful.
I think that's one of just a few things we really don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do they benefit from it? I don't. It's kind of hard to tell.
The thing that I've noticed, and it's what's made me think this, is, well, two things. One, taking the data in the environment, it's usually 70 to 80% humidity.
Mm-hmm.
And my thought with that is that I don't think it matters, especially for us on the East Coast. I don't think it matters so much in the summertime, in the springtime, because we naturally have humidity. And I think
in my room, man, during the summer, it's horrible.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I wonder if that cycle of humidity is good to induce breeding. But I've noticed that for me in the wintertime, and I don't know if you guys know, Owen, you've had the same issue, but when we're running dry heat,
Yeah, it's dry.
I noticed that it's not they make that wheezing noise that everybody immediately thinks is an RI. I don't know if you've ever experienced that.
Yeah, I've noticed it. Actually, kind of recently, I've noticed it, once or twice, but I mean, it tends to, I have noticed it more like with them in shed, you know what I mean? Especially or right before then, if you pick them up and sometimes they're moving in your hand and I guess it pushes on their lung a little bit, you'll get.
Sure.
It's kind of freaks you out for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I'm thinking like, and again, I could be I can never say this stupid word, anthropomorphize. Say it for. Help me out here, Owen.
Anthropomorphize. Yeah,
I said it right. Okay,
you did.
I always feel like I say it wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. No wonder you were silent. Okay, very good.
I was. You were doing good. I'm not going to stop you if you're doing good.
Like for me, that same thing and experiencing respiratory, at least once a year getting sick, and I always get sick in respiratory diseases and stuff. It like dries me out.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm wondering if it does the same thing, which then is that leading them to be prone to, get an infection or, because it's dried out. So like so what I do in the wintertime now is I add, like a humidifier that I put on just to boost it up a little bit. I'm not making it jungle 80%, but,
I've thought about adding one, to be honest with you, because not only do I get the little wheezy thing with the carpets every once in a while, but like you have other species like white lips. It's like, oh no,
oh God, dude.
The humidity has dropped. The humidity has dropped from like 85 to 80. Now my eye caps can't come off. It's like, oh, God damn it.
Yes.
Like I've thought about that, but my rooms are so much bigger than some of the other ones. Like I have to get like an industrial strength humidifier to like, even then, what the hell is that going to do to the desert tortoise that lives inside in wintertime? Like,
you got lots of problems.
There's so many. Yeah. Like would you consider adding one, Jake, or you just kind of flip the water bowl on the hot side?
Yeah, I've thought about it a lot. Like right now, my humidity in here is 26%.
Oh wow, okay, that's low.
Yeah, but they deal with it. Like it, for all we know, that's one of the triggers they need for breeding, and then by adding a big ass humidifier, it fucks everything up. Like
I feel like I'm trying to get out of that mindset of it's like meaning that like, oh, okay, it seems like it's okay. Is that
you're trying to get out of the if it's not broke, don't fix it?
Well, not necessarily that, because I'm not saying to change things,
right?
But I'm just trying to say, like, I don't know. It just seems like to me, we've come so far with keeping, and then, well, let me ask this question: did you have shedding problems with ball pythons?
Not really. Maybe once or twice, but not really. I mean, I still did the same thing with them, though. I'll
dump the water bowl and stuff.
Yeah, dump the water bowl a little bit or something like that.
Okay.
But I mean, I can't think of one offhand, but I'm sure I did once or twice. I mean,
right.
Just kind of happens from time to time.
I mean, I just asked that because I haven't had problems with carpet shedding, but I have had every ball python I've kept, man. I get that. Just me and them are just, it's like, okay, we're going to part ways and never meet again. Yeah, but I do like that you have a pair of normal, are they farm hatched or are they wild ball pythons? Don't you have a pair?
Oh, yeah.
Of
Yeah. The female is wild. I have a male that's farm hatch or whatever you want to,
right.
you know. Mm-hmm. And actually, I have two males that are like that.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's
got like a really loose pattern, and one's kind of dark. I mean, when I got rid of everything, I kind of kept them just because I wanted to breed that female and just with that wild male and just see what comes out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool, man. I think that's cool that you have that project.
Yeah. It's I think a lot of the wild ball python stuff was kind of ignored because of morph stuff when they used to just come in and everybody had their dinker projects, but really what they were looking for is hopefully to discover an unknown morph or something like that, not try to just breed normal stuff for normal stuff's sake. So that is cool.
Yeah, I like that.
You know, one thing I wondered with them, that's why I kept that female because she's really, really light.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
And I wonder if I guess people have done it within morphs and stuff, but if you could take two light colored normals and line breed them and produce, you know, basically the same thing you do with carpets. You know what I mean? Kind of refine
You could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you absolutely could.
But I guess there's $5,000 morphs out there.
Yeah.
Do they still go for that much? Is ball pythons really that much?
Yeah, there's some 2 years ago, I think there's still a couple that were right around 10.
Wow.
That had actually been around for quite a long time. Like they kind of try to manage the project, who gets it, you know, sell only females at first, so it takes them forever, you know, longer to grow it up. But
you got to hand it to the ball python breeders, man. They have it dialed in, man. They don't screw around with nothing, man.
Jesus.
Yeah.
There's still stuff popping up, man. It seems like once, at least a couple times a year, there's some new morph on the market.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think I kind of had a feeling that it was that whole market was sort of not dying out, but like sort of it seemed like it wasn't as popping, and then all of a sudden Kabilka came along and just
he's a genius, really.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
His foresight is freaking nuts, man, you know?
Yeah.
But I also wonder how many projects did he have that didn't come to, you know, didn't go the way he thought. So it just comes across to us watching, you know, him produce these amazing animals. And like, how many duds did you hit to get to that one, you know, amazing animal? And then
gotta break the eggs, man. You make the omelet.
Yeah. I don't know. I my hat's off to him, man. He knows where it's at. You know. Then you got Ozzy Boys. He's another one. He's another one that seems to have it dialed in. What's that?
There's a few of them that are.
Oh
really,
yeah.
You know, and I think they're a good. I don't know, a good face for the hobby as far as their, you know, that community. You know what I mean? Because
how so?
Those are dudes that you don't see always getting in the drama or whatever. You know.
Yeah.
What I mean?
Yeah.
And then
you're talking about them specifically. Yeah, I got you. Okay. Yeah, I could agree with that. It seems like Kabilka in particular is somebody to me that stands out. That's somebody that isn't involved in any kind of drama like that, but yet he's friends with people that are.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Which is kind of a tough balance, right? You know, you want to be friends with somebody, but at the same time you have to balance not being involved in their bullshit.
That can be hard, especially with people on social media and stuff like that, where it's like, yeah, I know the guy, but I don't agree with everything he says. Like, yeah. So
yeah, that can be tough. Okay. And now, is it correct that you now have a scrub?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
I don't know, man. I thought about sending it back, man.
Oh, really?
I think it's broken.
Why is it not, jerk?
I don't bite.
It's just there.
I mean, you can reach your hand in there. You can reach your hand in and grab it.
Yeah? Give it time.
Yeah. Well, it might never turn. What kind of scrub are we talking about here?
The Southern.
Southerns aren't that bad.
It's beautiful, man. A lot of orange on it. Yeah. Really where did that come from?
I can't remember. I got it off somebody on Morse Market. I can't remember.
Okay.
I'll have to look it up.
Cool.
I've been wanting scrubs forever, man.
So is this a project that you're building that you want to add some more scrubs?
Yeah, I'd at least, it's a female. I'd at least like to get a male and raise them up, you know what I mean?
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scrubs are cool. They're a handful, but they're cool.
Yeah, that was something I wish I could have pegged the scrubs down, but I'm
surprised you haven't gotten back into them.
I got the one dud clutch of the tandem bars, and then after that I was pretty much spent.
I mean, it's a big snake that wants to chomp you.
Yes, go on.
And they're hard to breed.
Yeah,
it ticks all your boxes.
But listen, I can't fill my house with impossible to breed animals more so than I already have. So, let me tick off a few here of success stories, and then we'll talk about expanding more.
Okay.
Like I got the gold white lips. Now I keep talking about Papuan pythons.
Oh, good God, man!
I gotta let me get the black white lips, and then we'll talk about scrubs. Yeah. Let me get the Timors, and then we'll talk about bull and I. So we'll keep going.
Oh, wow. Okay. So what's the dream Morelia? The one you wish you want more than anyone?
Oh, man. I don't know. I don't know. My favorite's always been gelatins, but do you see what Nick posted on his website?
What was it? A new animal up for sale, or was it another gelatin?
A group of Cape Yorks.
Oh,
yeah, I got those.
Man, look, my gelatins are probably some of my favorite snakes. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
They're kind of similar, but have like a Rockhampton looking head stamp. You know what I mean? Like they're crazy looking, but they look kind of similar. I don't know, man. That's a hard one to look at.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, the Cape Yorks are they're cool. I'm looking at them now. I might actually buy some from him.
Yeah, they are.
It's nice. All of them are nice. Every one of them.
Yeah, they're not. That one's really nice.
They're
another project.
They're definitely different pattern wise than anything that I've seen in the hobby.
Yeah, that is cool to see them kind of set aside like that.
Yeah, I've never. I mean, that's the first time I've seen them available. In the past, year and a half or whatever.
He's got some exotic het granite too, and some nice het granites. Yeah, and some nice granites. God damn it! Why am I on this page? This is a terrible thing for me to be on.
Yeah, I don't know. At the time, I was surprised. I think it was just me and Nick and who else got some? Somebody else.
Kohler?
No. We just had him on the show. Why am I drawing a blank?
I don't know.
501. I can't remember.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just talking to myself now.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, yeah, they're cool, man. They're cool. I dig the gelatins a lot too. I think they're probably they're my favorite jungles by far.
Yeah, man. I mean, you can't beat it. It's a natural looking xanthic pretty much, but really, I mean, it looks better if you ask me. I mean, there's kind of a couple different looks to them, you know.
Yeah.
My male is more of a kind of a greenish hue to it, and then the female is more just white and gray and black.
Yeah, some of them are very banded. I have produced, man, these ones that are going to Justin are just freaking phenomenal. You've seen them, Owen.
Yeah, I have. It's one of those
Stripe.
Like,
you want to
open
talk
it up
about
and,
Stripe? Holy shit!
Thank God he's taking them, because I had been like, all right, that's enough. Even I resisted them so long, and then like, oh no, they're going to Justin. Oh, thank God. So
do you have a pair?
Yeah.
Of Johns, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, the male's more of a banded look, and the female's kind of got, you know, a partial stripe going.
So the funny thing is neither of mine were striped at all, and produced amazing stripes.
I was going to ask, like, are you going for something with the gelatins, or just you don't care at this point?
I mean, just breed them together and see what happens. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I want to. There's gelatins and some other stuff that I don't know. I think it needs to stay where it's at. You know what I mean?
There's no reason to improve it. It's just it's fine the way it is.
If you want to do that, you know, use an ivory or something maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I kind of like I think you can like some of the gelatins in Australia are just, whoa, man.
Yeah,
the
great.
The ones that they've been breeding, holy shit. So I can imagine if we kind of stick to that same route, that it's going to kind of fall in the same.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to see some nice striped ones, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think you can do a lot just, you know, going towards a banded look with them too, or.
And even refining that green hue, right? You know?
Yeah, see, that's what you usually don't see, you know what I mean? Or something like that.
Yeah, you don't, and you don't see that in another carpet.
No.
But how much can you really do before it stops looking like a gelatin? Like, I know you can refine the hue and you can do a couple things with the colors and you can definitely mess with the patterns and all, but like, will it eventually get to like the jungles that we have that are black and yellow? You eventually get so far in, it doesn't look like a gelatin anymore.
Well, what looks like a gelatin?
I don't know. I was asking.
Oh, sorry. Go
I
ahead.
don't know. I'm just putting questions, dude. I don't know I don't know answers.
I mean, they kind of. I guess they look like look like them, but I think Eric, you said they had a bunch of different looks, right? Wild gelatin.
Mm-hmm. One looked like a citrus tiger. One looked like
one always looks like a citrus tiger.
The other one looked like it could pass for like those poplin carpets that are yellow and black and brown, like yellow, you know, kind of look like that. But the interesting thing is they all had those that pattern that I haven't really seen in other carpets like I have in the gelatins, where they have. Rob and I coined it the railroad tracks, where it's like double stripes down the sides and the top. Rob, the one I sent to Rob, has that probably the most out of all the ones I produced. I'll have to ask Rob for an updated picture, see what it looks like. Probably freaking phenomenal. And I know the one that I sent him to, I want to say he sent it back, and he sent me a picture, and it really did have sort of a really like the whole snake had a green hue to it, which was interesting. It just had an interesting color.
Because didn't yours go more lavender where Nick's went more green? Color-wise? Or was it the other way around?
No. It was really came down to the striping.
Okay.
He kept the stripes. And he got banded.
He got banded babies. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well,
so, that's the cool thing, right? I mean, I don't know. What do you think, Jay? I kind of think like, you know, the thing I like about breeding normal carpets, like normal carpets, so to speak, is that like you're always going to get that odd couple that pump out of the clutch where you're like, how did this happen?
Yeah.
Where you don't. I mean, I don't know. If you're breeding albinos, you know you're going to get an albino. If you're breeding granites, you know you're going to get a granite. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's kind of like, I don't know. To me, that was always the fun of normal carpets.
Yeah, I mean, last year I bred that M-Pen male to a female that it was just a random female. You know what I mean? It was sold as a coastal. No documentation. Looked like likely a cross.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But I mean, I got some really nice stripes, and I got a couple of really nice stripes that were better than the male. The female wasn't really striped or anything. She's kind of just kind of a typical, right. Banded look. You know what I mean? Kind of. But I got one baby that's, I don't know, it's weird.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like a kind of a banded look, but the edges are real jagged. It's a lot lighter color than the rest of them too. It's more of a.
Yeah, I'm trying to look through your Instagram real quick to see if I can find it.
I get what you. I mean, I get what you're saying. It's cool.
That one on. I posted that one on NPR Pick of the Week next to the striped one.
Oh, okay. Let me
cool.
look it up.
Together because they were siblings, and it's just weird. But the variation was.
Yeah, the variation can look nuts. I got to take a picture of that striped Brisbane that I hatched this year because both her parents are banded and look like Brisbanes, and then she came out having a full stripe, and it's like, well, shit. All right, I guess I'm starting a Brisbane project. Thank you very much for that. Like, it's to have that weird kind of out of left field animal, which, I mean, that happens with every clutch. You always have the standout ones. And that's where you can get all excited and pumped about hatching is what's going to come out, what's going to look like. You kind of have an idea, but there's usually the ones that are the cream of the crop. So that's always cool.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even expect any really good stripes from the clutch. You know what I mean? But I got two they're better than the male.
That's what Eric does. He's like, I put these two banded together and I hatched nothing but stripes. I'm like, God damn it. Like, I put these two stripes together and I got nothing but bands. Like, it was just, so something in the water over at his place. Stripes prevalent. So.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the picture you're talking about. Let's see.
Yeah, I posted that and the striped animal side by side on NPR. Pick of the Week.
Any other weird variation in your other clutches between some of the stuff you saw?
Just that one granite that's kind of just a little different than the others, and a little bit lighter. And I guess the granite zebra jag's not weird, but I don't know. Those granite zebra jags are pretty cool.
It's normal for a granite zebra jag, which is weird for everything else. So, yeah.
Man, cool. That's so I see what you're saying with the crazy pixelated pattern on the bottom.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird. And the head stamp's weird. It's just an oddball, you know what I mean? It's just
But that stripe, man, if that doesn't look like an M pen, holy shit.
Yeah, both of them were like that. The one has more like perfect portholes on the side, and the other one's a little more jumbled up on the side. But both of those stripes were nice.
That is cool.
Did you see it, Owen? I just sent it to you.
Yeah, pulling it up right now.
Yeah, it's I like the little portals in the which I don't often see that is in the, like that second stripe. So you got the bald back stripe, and then you got that darker outlined lavendery type of stripe.
Right, on the sides, and then it has portals.
And then you got like little portals in that, which is pretty cool.
Other lateral stripe, and then you have another stripe that has even more portals in it near the belly. It's like, how did you squeeze 4 goddamn stripes into one animal? Like, this is not wait. Like, you're adding stripes. That's not what you're supposed to do. That is cool, and I like the head stamp too.
Yeah,
I guess
nice.
The one with the portals is probably my favorite one.
Yeah.
I like that look better than the side stripes. You know what I mean? It's
something. I that would be one of the ones that I'd be like, you get to stay. Is it a boy or a girl?
It's a male. That clutch is 15 eggs, and it was 13.2.
After a certain point where you're like, I'm doing something fucking wrong, right? Like it's well, actually, I like it better when it's heavier males because now I know I'm not doing it wrong because I can see the hemipenes. Where if it's like a female heavy clutch, I'm like, no. Clearly I'm like either not pushing hard enough or I'm not doing it right. It's like, yeah, but that is, God damn it, you want an even split or somewhere close to even.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one was rough. That was the first clutch that hatched last year. I was like, man.
God damn it.
The other ones were pretty even, for the most part. And I mean, really, everything worked out as good as it could have, I think.
My Mad Hog clutches this year, I had 21 Mad Hog eggs, and I had, it turned out to be like, it's like 18.3 out of the entire clutches or something like that. It was like, no, I'm sorry, it was the other way around. It was 3.18. I only got 3 males, and I had like 18 females. And I'm like, what? So, yeah.
So from a selling point of view, is it better to err on the side of female or on the side of male? What say you? Go ahead, Owen.
I mean, like what? If I'm selling it and I'm not 100% sure?
Yeah, like
DNA
no.
test
What
that
I'm saying
bitch
is,
now.
no. When you get a clutch,
Yeah.
you hatch it out,
Yeah.
and you got 2.13 or 13.2,
Dude,
which is better?
No matter what, your customer wants the other thing, okay?
Oh, okay. All right.
If you hatch out 3.20, everybody's going to hit you up for boys. Let's put it this way. If it's a bredli, like normal straight bredli clutch, more boys. People somehow love a lone male bredli as a pet.
Because it doesn't get as big.
Right. But they just want a male bredli as a pet. Normal, that's it. They don't want a female. They want a male. So normals, boys. But anything that has like any kind of color or different things like that, it's almost like it's a split. It depends on what people are looking for. Some people might need more boys. Some people might need more girls. Yeah. Jungles, I get blown up for girls all the time because somebody's always got if they have a really stellar male jungle and they find there's always room for another really stellar jungle female in a jungle breeder's collection. If he's got really good looking boys and he finds a girl, hell yeah. So
what do you think, Jake?
I mean, I think it really depends on what it is, you know what I mean? If it's something obscure, I guess it depends on what's usually available. I mean, like that clutch right there was the female was pretty much unknown, so it's a majority like $100 snakes. You know what I mean? So the males don't matter because everybody that's buying those just wants a pet. You know what I mean? They don't ask anything. Right. So, I mean, I really think it depends on what it is. But yeah, I mean, I would rather have females just because. But
it seems like if you're a breeder, you would prefer the females because then you can hold some of them back, Well,
and it also depends on what you've got going on because
if it's a rare project, you really want enough that you can pair them up.
Right.
Or if it's a morph project, you really don't want to sell males. You'd rather sell females so that, people aren't going and breeding males to.
But then you also have to take yourself into consideration. Like I only hatched out because I had to do the split clutch with Mike Curtin this year for the WoW Mojo zebra stuff. So we had 4 zebras, 2 boys, 2 girls. We each took a pair of zebras, which is great. And I'm keeping the female zebra because she's absolutely stellar. But then it's like, would be great right now to sell a female zebra. Like that would be awesome to kind of have an extra one to sell. So you have to take yourself into the account too. Like if it's a morph project, you want to have maybe 1 or 2 things. This way you have options to keep one and maybe sell one.
Right.
Otherwise, you just like, oh my God, look at this great looking girl. I could use another girl. Like, and then you just keep it. You just you franchise tag that thing. My entire clutch, I did the Caramel Head Exanic to the Caramel Head Exanic. And I haven't even listed any of the animals from that clutch. And for many reasons. One, because they've just been a bitch to feed. But the other is because I'm not 100% how they're going to turn out. So I'm holding them all. And I've never done a Burke clutch, but here we are.
I'm glad I could influence you.
Bastard. Yeah.
So Jake, when you're doing your projects, you have your granite zebras and you know some of the other projects that you're talking about. Are you gearing to hold stuff back and keep pushing that forward? Or are you a guy that sort of sells everything, maybe keeps one or two?
I mean, I don't keep I don't know. It's kind of hard, man. I want to keep a lot of stuff. I mean, I definitely want to hold stuff back and try to further the project. Like out of the double het albino granite to zebra het granite, I kept a pair of granite zebras.
Okay.
I only produced one female granite zebra, and kept a pair, and I kept, I think, 3 female possible double hets.
Okay.
It's
Just
not
to play
bad.
with. I kept from the other clutch. I kept a Jag het granite, 100% het granite, and I think I really don't need any. I kind of did that striped coastal to that undocumented female just to, I was kind of like, oh, I want some eggs, I might not get anything else, you know what I mean? That was just kind of but I kind of want to keep a couple of those, just to see what they turn out like. I mean, I definitely think that M-Pen male could do good to the right female after seeing that clutch.
Yeah. I mean, there's certain ones where you're like, I'm pretty sure this is going to be okay. So,
yeah, he was the only one I saw lock last year. And
really?
Yeah. It was like 3 days before she ovulated.
Really?
Yeah. It's weird.
Sometimes breeding can induce ovulation. So,
yeah, it's kind of weird.
Then he has to do it again. If he doesn't do it again, he's stupid. So yeah.
And the other thing I did with that clutch was I split it up a little bit. I didn't split it in half, but I mean I just kind of split it up, and how it fell apart as I did it is I left six eggs with her to incubate them, and then I put 9 of them in the incubator.
Oh, interesting.
Was there any difference between the kids when they hatched?
Not really.
Okay.
Well, there was a little bit of a size difference, kind of. I mean, it was kind of hard to be sure because there was a couple of 15-gram babies, and ones in the incubator, and there's still one in what she incubated too.
Okay.
I'll tell you this: the 3 best stripes came out of the ones she hatched, though.
All right. So. Shut up. No, shut up now. We're not done yet. Out of the feeding, which ones maybe took to food faster? The ones that were with her or the ones that were in the incubator?
Okay, so the last one from that clutch to eat was maternally incubated. I think it was also she had less than I put in the incubator and all that, but I mean, I don't know. All of them feeding. That one took 6 months to take his first meal, but every one of them is feeding now. So
you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. It might be smaller, but it might eat sooner. I don't. Yeah.
I wasn't even talking about maternal incubation with the eating. I was just saying
I went there quickly because I didn't want you to have some sort of moral victory, and I can't have those. So yeah.
I didn't track everything, but it kind of seemed almost to match up, but like I said, there was 3 more eggs in the incubator than she had, and so really it was just, I kind of did it for fun. One, I was like, okay, if I split this clutch, is she going to go back on the eggs?
Did she go right back on?
She did.
Yeah. I bothered her, man. I temp gunned the clutch. I temp gunned the clutch, the clutch, the enclosure, and her.
Uh-huh.
I temp gunned her, the eggs themselves, and the enclosure every morning and every evening.
every
Wow.
morning, every.
So what
every
did you
day?
get? What did you see?
It
Jesus.
was almost. I'll post a picture of it later.
Yeah.
Put it
Okay.
all down, but it was almost perfectly stable the whole time.
Wow.
Now, I think like a week or so. I have to go back and look, but I think it was close to hatching time. There was one time that a temp gunned it, and it was at least 5 degrees lower than it usually was. But I think maybe she had got off and got water or something like that before I came in the room, maybe. But it was almost exactly the same all the time, like 88, 89 the whole time.
Was she
Wow.
was she
It's
off
really
the
hard.
eggs around? Like, did you? Because when I did maternal incubation, my girl was off the eggs like clockwork. This time, at this time, and then on them at this time. Like, was it staggered, or was she on them like consistent, or did she have a rhythm?
I saw her off of those eggs one time.
Jesus.
And I started to worry about it, though, because I only saw her off when she was probably coming out at night or something when I wasn't in here. But I moved the water bowl from the one end of the enclosure to kind of right in the middle so she could kind of just come most of the way out.
Lean out of it and go get it that way. Did you feed?
She was probably, of course, you know.
Oh, yeah. I guarantee it.
Man, she looks like shit, you know.
Did she eat it all while she was on the eggs?
I didn't offer it to her.
Ooh.
I mean, I should have. She probably would have. I tell you what, that's one of the calmest snakes, one of the calmest carpets I ever had. My kids hold her and everything. And after that, every female after that, a couple of my females were real calm. If you go to unlock the lock on the cage, they're coming after.
They know the sound. Yeah.
Yeah. After the breeding season, they really.
Oh yeah.
That is. When the food is taken away, they're like, it's never coming back. They need to my guys do not settle until we get to like June, where it's like a consistent food coming back kind of a thing. But I did feed my carpet when she was doing maternal, and she like did the one thing I did not want her to do, and she just took a dump right on top of the eggs.
Yeah, see, look, I've listened. I'm telling you, I've listened to every episode of NPR at least 3 or 4 times.
Right.
You know, before all this. See, I heard those stories. I'm worried about that.
I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, I'm finally doing this, and you're gonna do that to me? So,
Oh wow.
and with that, like, it dried. It didn't really affect the eggs too much, but the top egg was a dud, and it got disgusting and moldy. So I waited for her to be off the clutch, took the clutch, sliced that egg, drained it, ripped it off, because that also cleaned all the shit off the top of the eggs, and put them back, and she went right on top like it was nothing wrong. Nothing changed. So.
Wow.
Yeah, I worried about that.
Yeah, I'm about to say, like, I'm not sure if I would want to feed during incubation, but that was so fucking annoying. Like, it was just like, please don't shit on your kids. Like, it's the one thing I don't want you to do.
Why would you want to feed during maternal incubation?
Because then she didn't look like I horribly abused her when she finally got off of them. She looked semi-horrible, but like, you know.
So I wonder if there's a balance there where you can feed her enough preseason to sort of cushion that a little bit.
Yeah, probably.
Will it be too much to where she won't breed?
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I thought about trying it with my biggest female, that double-head albino granite.
Uh-huh.
She laid her eggs on top of her hide box and sprawled everywhere and didn't even coil around them. So I was like, that's a no-go. But she barely even looked like she laid eggs.
Really?
She's big. And like, she weighs less now than she did before last season.
Oh.
I didn't even feed her back up to her weight because she's pretty big.
Yeah, I see some of the pictures on your Instagram, and yeah, she's got that big chunky carpet head that I talk about.
She's got the biggest head out of anything in this room.
Yeah, that's cool. She's a cool snake.
Slimming down some snakes too. It's almost like they act better as moms when they lose a little bit of weight or something like that. Like they'll coil the eggs a little bit better. I mean, I had huge carpets, and and some of them just always seem to be. Some of them have gotten better now that they're slimmer, like attitude wise, egg wise. It seems to be better. So who knows? Maybe she'll coil them all this year, or that, or she'll spread them all around like a
man. Oh, and I'm writing down all these things that you're saying that I never thought that I would hear you say.
No.
Like,
listen, nobody needs to hear this shit.
When Owen did MI.
No, listen, Owen, that was a weird experience. And I did it just so. Listen, Jason Balin would text me every year going like, are you going to put your big boy pants on? So you know what? We finally got annoyed enough to do it. So,
Balin broke you. Okay.
Yeah, Balin breaks me in a lot of things. But eventually you just got to do it. And it was a cool experience. And I did enjoy seeing her do all the crazy shit. But my incubator just never crapped on the eggs. So I don't know what to do here.
Well, it also never fed the mama, so.
Yeah.
Fair enough. So what's the next carpet project, Jake?
You dip into breadlie or inlands or?
Inlands, I'd love to have inland.
Yeah?
Inlands.
I really want them Cape Yorks now, though.
Like I had an idea, but now.
That'll probably be soon.
Yeah.
If they're still around after the holidays, I'll probably grab some.
Yeah.
And maybe more gelatins.
I mean, if the box is coming from Nick already, I mean, you got to fill it. Yeah, it's like, yeah, just, because he'll do that thing where he's like, you got it. You got your Cape Yorks. What else do you need? And you're like, nothing. Wait, do I? And then, yeah, that's maybe some more.
I don't know. Yeah. Justin, he produced some really nice inlands, man. Woo!
Yeah.
Good old doctor.
Yeah.
You don't have inlands yet, do you, Owen?
No, I don't. But
okay.
So other buddy came to me asking if he wanted to pull the trigger on some inlands, and I'm like, yes, you do. And he's like, why? I'm like, because I don't have inlands, and I need you to pull the trigger, and then we'll talk later. So other buddy got a really nice pair of inlands this year. Or this week, actually.
Either.
Yeah.
I've seen there's one on Morph Market maybe I saw, and
yeah.
Every once in a while Nick has one or two he posts or whatever. But
yeah, I don't know if they can be trickier to breed for some people.
I don't imagine they're going to be as tricky.
Seems like Justin has them dialed in.
Exactly. So, like, maybe you have to do a little bit more finagling. It's like breadlie. You have to remove them from the room. You have to do this. Like, if you can do diamonds and you can do breadlie, you can do inlands. It has to be. So, if I had space, if I had an unlimited amount of space or a very, very large hangar where I kept all my snakes, of course I'd have inlands. Right now, I'd have to start kicking out other projects, and I'm not there yet.
There's another type of inland that I have my eye on.
Taipan? Inland Taipan?
Yes, that's the one.
You gone that crazy? Okay. Yeah.
Man, I'm looking at that girl on top of holy shit, man. I'm looking at her on top of the you use those same boxes that Owen uses for hides, the black tote with the yellow lid.
The yellow lid. Yep, they're fantastic because they lock.
She looks thick. Wow.
I love those bins.
You can really see the scale separation on her. It's cool.
If you have any other bin that doesn't lock the lid, all of a sudden you come in there and the lid's over here, the bin's over there, the snake is over there, and everything's all crazy. So yeah, it's good to have a locking lid.
That double head albino granite, she does. I'll put it right over here under the heat panel, and it'll be one night, and she'll have it flipped on its side, laying on the side of it.
Yeah, that is the other thing. Is they do that a lot. So
every time
they flip it on. I like it when they flip it on the side and then they get in it. So then they're just laying on this skinny part while it's still half in the air. And then I tip it and I hear a snake fall inside the bin, and I'm like, well, what have we learned? So yeah. Did that to my Maclots python today.
I just, as I was scrolling through your Instagram again, just to see a couple more snakes or whatever, I look at this one. It said my favorite from the striped clutch this year, and I'm like, wow, that snake is hot. Oh wait, that's the same snake that
That's
we
the same
just were
one.
talking about.
No.
But it was just a different angle where you could really see the portals on the side. I was like, oh man, that thing is nice.
So Jake, aside
Very cool.
from
That's a nice
carpets,
snake.
is there a species that you would jump into or want to get involved in aside from Morelia?
Timors. That's something I've always wanted, and I really need to think about doing it because that's another one. You know, all those obscure, pythons, the price just goes up and up and up.
Yeah, I would 100% endorse Timors. I love my Timors. I wish I had jumped on more when I had the chance. So
they're one of the coolest looking pythons.
They're gorgeous.
It's almost like a retic in a carpet. It's kind of like
Had a baby, yeah. So yeah, they're one of my favorites.
That's cool. I got a crazy question. One piece of reptile equipment in your room that you can't live without.
I don't know. Thermostats.
Thermostats, okay.
Programmable thermostats, yep. With no light dimmer switches for us anymore. We've evolved. We're beyond that. God.
Yeah, it's easier that way.
They are.
I can't wait for the technology to advance to where it not only takes care of the thermostat, takes care of which I'm sure they already have this in some spots
capacity,
where it controls the heat, the humidity, the lights, all in one thing.
I saw one today. I went to go because my kids have a couple of geckos.
Okay.
And I went to PetSmart to get mealworms and stuff, and I think it was ZooMed. They have it looks like a modem, you know what I mean, or
a tower from a
internet.
computer.
It stands up and it does humidity. It comes with 2 probes. It's got 3 plugs. It's supposed to control humidity, lighting, and
heat.
Heat, I think.
Wow.
3 plugs. It's like 150, I think. But it looked like it had a separate little remote with it. You know what I mean? It had this box and a little remote. It's got 3 probe ports, but it says it comes with 2 probes. I was like, man, that might be kind of cool. You know what I mean?
that they may be designing those kind of things for one big tank enclosure, but that's not bad if that's what you're going to do. That I mean,
that's only the beginning. You know what I mean? Eventually they'll make something like that that's just like a Herpstat 6 or something.
Well, they need to. I think that's something that's very much untapped, where it's like, how much technology and cool shit can you get if you're doing a saltwater tank that could be something that we could do for a reptile enclosure and stuff like that. Like all the different kind of lighting systems, the different kind of water pumps and computer systems that deal with that stuff, and testing equipment for this, that, and the other thing. It's like, it would be awesome if you could go to PetSmart or Petco or whatever and pick up these things that would help you have a very large, very cool terrarium for your animals. So, because making a display tank's just fun too. So,
yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I saw in I think I talked about this on one of the shows when we came back, but Scott Hyper had this unit on the top of his cage that he had he didn't even have anything in it. It was just a bioactive cage, and he had this app where he could it had the different suns, different moons phases, anything you could think of programming, it was into this thing. And I think it was something with aquatics.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
certain fish don't breed unless it's a new moon or some bullshit. I would not be surprised.
Yeah, it was really cool. I was like, wow. Lightning storms, it had the lights would flash like a lightning storm.
That's cool.
It was pretty neat. Could you imagine walking into your room and having a storm
being
and just seeing all your cages flashing and shit, And it didn't look cheesy
Strobe light.
It wasn't like that. It was like it really legitimately looked like a lightning storm.
Next step is that you put a lightning rod on your house and you run it down into the snake room so that when it's hit, there's actual lightning in your snake room. That's how we get the Bolenai to breed. You know, bring the nature inside, simulate a hurricane. Yeah.
Do you ever see yourself getting into something like that? Of price, like, you know, obviously the price is insanity.
$20,000 snake.
Would it be something that you would want to get into, Bolins?
I mean, they're cool, man, but that's kind of the one that everybody wants to chase. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It seems like, especially since Halmahera got bred, it's like we're running out of.
You're cool too.
They are, but like it seems like we're running out of that species that we can't get to breed, and it's. Like now everybody's jumping at Bolenai.
No, that's what people think, but just because someone else bred it doesn't mean that
you're going to be able to.
A challenge for you or whoever, you know.
There are people who are working at it for years. What makes you think just because you got them and are going to keep them in a drawer that you're going to be able to breed them? Like I don't. Yeah.
I think I've been thinking about this with Bolen's pythons, and I think that they're the project that people that have been breeding for a long time. And have bred multiple species, multiple different types.
Yeah,
that they end with something like that. Like they get to a point where it's like, okay, I've done this, I've kept that, I've bred this, I've bred that, you know, blah blah blah. Did the morphs, did the this, did the that, and now it's like that last, you know, thing I guess when you've been breeding for a long time, you must get to a point where it's like it becomes almost
the high.
it becomes what's the word? I don't want to say monotonous, but you know what I mean. It becomes like a program almost, to where there's not the excitement. And I think that
I don't blame them. I mean, if they weren't that expensive, I'd do it. You know, just to try it.
Hell yeah.
Who doesn't want to try it? You know what I mean? It's a cool snake, you know what I mean? So,
yeah,
I mean, that's too expensive, man. And you see for $15,000 a piece or $10,000.
That's a brand new car. Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah. I mean, that's a whole reptile building.
Yeah,
from the ground up.
No.
That's every carpet you could imagine, and then some.
How many carpets is that? A couple pairs of Timors.
That's Owen sells his entire collection to get 2 snakes. Like no, like. Mm-mm.
Well, that's the other thing too, right? I think that like a lot of breeders that sort of settle into that groove, sort of have slimmed down the collection to where they can kind of focus on that species. I think that's something that, you know.
And somebody like that's going to be the one to breed them, probably.
These words, slim down collection, it does not compute with Owen. I don't understand. So weird.
It is. It's weird when you have you go from a huge collection, to a smaller collection.
You watch
and
other
like
people.
You go to no, you go to clean, and you're like, oh,
I'm
that's
done.
it.
Oh, that was easy.
Yeah, it can get out of hand quick for sure. So what's the most anticipated? You guys might have already hit this. Why I had to step away, but what's the most anticipated?
The most
anticipated project for this year. Did you hit it?
We just talked about it. We don't think he didn't pin one down. He said what he's got going on, but he didn't say which one he's really
the one you got to have
jonesing for. Yeah.
I mean, I'd really like to see the hypo and the granite jag go, but I think my top one, whether it be the hypo to the MBB red or the M-pen to the MBB red, either one of those. If I could get that one clutch, then really, I'd be happy. Honestly.
Yeah.
And your red is from Eric, right?
No. I have a male red that I bought from him this year. That red was produced by Balin.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
Okay.
She's really, I don't know. She's huge too. I don't know. I mean, I think she was fed a little extra. You know what I mean?
But here's the thing now is like, are we now going to look at every really large coastal and be like, clearly that thing's got like Brisbane blood in it somewhere? I mean, more so than we already were.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I never thought that before. I don't.
It was always something, but especially in like a very, very large coastal with question marks all over it. But
so
now
are the Brisbanes that are in the hobby, are they big?
Well,
mine aren't that big.
Let's put it this way: mine aren't. But the rumor is they're supposed to be the biggest, locality coastal. My male's a nice size for a coastal carpet, but my female's actually kind of small because remember I thought they were the other way around.
Oh yeah. That's right.
So mine aren't. But everybody else tells me that they're supposed to be.
I don't know. What do you think, Jake?
I don't know. I mean, it's possible. I guess now we really don't know. You know what I mean? As far as, but see, the whole thing. That's what everybody was. That thread that came up on NPR Pick of the Week or whatever. Yeah. Everybody's like, "What happens now?" I don't think anything really.
No, nothing.
Like I commented on there, and what I think is, basically Nick kind of did something similar. I think all the pure coastals that we had are now coastal type animals, or they call it something of that sort. And then you have the northerns, which is just the Rockhamptons, really, as far as coastal. Mm-hmm. The southerns. Those are, just a couple pure localities. And, of course, variegatas, IJ and Darwin and whatnot now. But, it's obvious they're from different places. So we should always keep them separate regardless of whether someone wants to mix them or not. We need to keep as many separate lines as we can,
Pure line is...
The only thing that this means after this classification that they did, the only thing it means is we have less pure animals in the hobby than we thought we did.
We were already low on that, and now it's gotten worse. Yeah.
There's people were already crossing stuff, and they're still going to cross stuff. I cross stuff, and then I keep pure stuff too, though. I think it's no different than it was. It's just those coastals aren't really pure anymore. And I think it's also that much more important, though, to keep the locality animals pure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because, we don't have that many of them. When they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah, there's nothing new coming in.
Yeah, and I think sometimes people get caught up on the idea that, well, it's locality and the locality's bullshit. Well, yeah, maybe the locality is bullshit, right? Let's just say that for sake of argument that it is. But that's a line of carpets that we're going to call this line, whether it's the locality or not. We can pretend that it is, or, some people believe it 100%. Other people are skeptical. Other people say it's bullshit. But I think to your point, it's sort of another thing. Regardless of what name we put on that thing, it's still another thing that we have in the hobby that we could sort of keep as something different, I guess.
Yeah, and like you said, it just becomes a line. It just becomes a thing. Like, yes, 100%. We can't say with certainty that it is purely this thing, but that doesn't mean we can now just throw it to the wind and go nuts with it, because then you're right, it's gone, whatever it was. So,
do you think that what do you think, Jake, to this question? Do you think that the hobby had plans on doing that anyway? I don't think that they did.
I don't think they gave a shit.
Do you think that once the book came out that people were going to be like, oh, now I can cross my IJ and my Darwin, and it doesn't.
People were already doing it before.
Right, that's what I mean. So it's like,
that's what I'm saying. Is nothing's different besides the fact that those coastals are no longer pure. Or as far as we know, we can't prove that they're pure. Or
They've now been so horribly mixed that we can never prove anything. So, yeah.
If anything, it's taught me this lesson. That when you find a carpet python that you think is cool looking and somebody tells you it's whatever, just get the carpet python that you think is cool. So like, I think of a couple of things. For me, it was citrus tigers. It had an undocumented animal in there. Some say they were jungles. Some say they were jungle, coastal, whatever. To me, it's sort of, they fall into that group to where it's like the northern coastal jungle mix thing. You know what I mean? Like that's what they become. That's what they were before the book came out. And now it's almost like it added a sense of legitimacy to them. Right? So it used to be that if you were a hardcore coastal person, you would be like, I can't tell you how many people would come up and be like, you've seen it, Owen, at the show.
All the time.
Man, those tigers are awesome. Yeah, they're the citrus tigers. Oh, they're the ones that are crossed, right? And I'm like, okay, fair enough.
Like it insulted them.
That's the one good thing about it. The one thing, that's a good thing about it, though, is because all these people that have been working with coastals all the morphs, now all the morphs are
questioned.
Traditional coastals, right?
Yeah.
So that's the one thing. Nick and everybody else. They're not going to just throw all those animals to the side. It would be stupid to do so.
Right.
So now, maybe people like that will think about working with certain animals that may have one question mark, but kind of fall into that category or whatever.
Right.
Maybe not, but.
Yeah,
I agree. If you were on the fence about breeding your animals because this, I'm not going to breed these because it cannot be done, and then this book came out, and you're like, now I'm free to do this all. If that was your hang up, come on, dude.
You probably shouldn't be breeding,
right? I understand keeping pure, and keeping this stuff here, and keeping lines pure and stocks pure, but every once in a while, you just got to be like, well, that'd be cool.
So here's another one, and this one will hit home for Owen that I think is something. Now, you can be honest, Owen, whether the HCQ, don't you wish you still had some of that?
Yes, 100%.
And don't you think, like for me with HCQ, a certain little part of me was like, when I would have somebody like Nick or, they're bullshit. They're bullshit. So it's like, I got to throw these away.
My first conversation with Nick as I was a young newbie, I told him what I had, and I had a bunch of HCQs at the time. He goes, those are bullshit. And I'm like, that is something that now it's like, well, were they? Or was that just because it said Queensland on their box?
Well, think about that for a second. It said high contrast Queensland. They would fit into that mold of a northern coastal jungle perfectly.
Yes, it would. Yes, yes.
And now that line is gone.
That I got when they were like, "Oh man, those are clearly a cross or this cross and that other thing," and I remember one of my first breedings was my MBB Jaguar to a Hicon. And people were like, why did you do that? And I got some yellow Jags.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well.
I remember.
Yeah. But a lot of them, once they found out they had Hicon, they didn't want them. But the weird thing is that they didn't want Hicon when it was in a Jag. But when it was in a Tiger, everybody was losing their shit. So, we kind of also did this to ourselves. So,
yeah. I guess that's my point.
So, what do we do now? We keep doing what we were doing, but now we have to put chain eye on things. Nothing changes.
As somebody that's coming from the ball python world and, previous to coming into carpets, do you find that people care about that? Do you see people caring about something pure or not? Do you see, was it difficult for you to transition from a world where you could breed whatever to whatever and not have to think about it, and then come into a world where you have all these different subspecies and species and such?
No, I mean, yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, you don't have to worry about anything. But whether they're, I mean, who knows? Maybe there are different subspecies of ball pythons or something, you know. But
if they came out with a paper breaking down ball python into like 4 or 5 subspecies, I mean, you'd be in the same boat. What the fuck are you going to do? Nobody was ever keeping track of this. It's too late. Like, it's done.
It would be too late, and 2, I don't think really, you know, next to no one would care about it anyway, because I mean that's the focus of the
right.
They're
trying to make a pretty snake, right?
Right.
Yeah.
No one's worried that the ball python they're buying has been mixed with an Angolan python.
That's another. Did you guys see the green tree ball python?
I refuse to acknowledge that animal.
Yeah. I could have fit.
I mean, so I got these morph projects or whatever, which are Darwin IJ jungle crosses and stuff. But there are, I guess everybody has their line. You know what I mean? I mean, to me, it's mainly animals like that are either more difficult to breed or harder to get, like rough scales, and you know, those are lines that I wouldn't cross myself. You know what I mean? If somebody wants to do it, I don't care. Whatever, go ahead.
But we don't have that many of those animals. Like it's like when people take a Timor and cross it to something. It's like we don't have that many of those animals in the hobby. Why are you taking your Timor and tossing it to a retic?
And my biggest question, though, is that ball python green tree cross. Okay,
somebody just did that.
The head looks just like a ball python. So who's going to say, I'm going to breed this to this, and then it's a new ball python?
Right, exactly. The problem is that some people cannot sit there and have a breedable female go a season without attempting to make eggs. And for the reason of, I don't know. I have no idea why somebody sits there and looks at a green tree python and a ball python and says, I'm going to do this, and then has the rationale to be like, why? What is the purpose other than just say you did it?
So I saw that pop up this morning when I was at work. And I'm sort of like, I looked at it.
Customer in the face.
No, because I didn't read it. I just looked at the picture, and my immediate reaction was, why is he so upset about this? Like, I don't.
It's a weird looking clown ball python. Yeah,
I thought it reminded me of like a lemon blast spinner thing or something from back in the day. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, why is he so upset? And then I see somebody said something like, is it going to be in the tree or is it going to be under a rock? And I'm like, oh, wait, is this
no.
Oh, shit, that's a ball python green tree? Like, oh, wow. So it fooled me. We're just looking at it real quick.
Well, and we've had that with like, we talked about that with like the Maclots and the carpet and stuff like that. It's like, I think if you go far or too far beyond a certain thing, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why would you take a ball python and a woma and cross them together? This is an animal from Africa. This is an animal from Australia. Why? Why would you do this? And that's the same mentality of people who breed like snow leopards to tigers. Like, it's like, why are you doing this other than just to say you did it?
I guess it's not the same when you're breeding designer dogs, right? Because they're all dogs.
Listen. If anybody ever tells you that they have a pure Labradoodle, you smack them in the face. Okay. Wanna know why?
Yeah, but
there's no such goddamn thing.
I guess my question is they all canis or whatever a dog is?
Yeah, because they're all mixed in insanity and breeding like crazy. Yeah.
So it's not the same. It's
if
not
somebody came out with a paper breaking down dogs into 4 or 5 different subspecies, ain't nobody gonna do shit. Like, it's
that's Owen's go-to phrase for the night. If somebody comes out with a paper,
you know what? If somebody came out with a paper and broke down this into 5 or 6 different subspecies, nobody gonna do crap.
You're screwed.
Nobody gonna change shit.
Dear.
All the bulldogs in all the world are now mutants, more so than they already were. So.
All right. Interesting. Okay. All right. Owen, do you want to do some closing questions? I guess. Yeah.
We'll hit the closing questions. All right. I kind of already talked about that. All right. Jake, do you have a species that you tried to breed but failed the most with?
Not yet.
Not yet? That's cocky. Ooh,
like it.
That was nice.
It'll come. It'll come.
Do you have a species that you had the opportunity to purchase but you didn't and regret passing on?
Scrubs and Timors, you know, I'm not trying to do that a little at a time, though. But.
Gotcha. What was the hardest lesson you learned while keeping the reptiles?
I don't know, man. Pay attention. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
It like I say that all the time where it's like I'm looking at a snake and I'm telling Melissa, I'm like, it's sick. And she's like, it's not. I'm like, it's not normal. So it's sick. Let's deal with this. Like you're your first line of defense when you're paying attention to shit. Okay.
Do you herp much?
Yeah. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go herping?
Oh, I don't know. Probably, I mean, I'd like to go to Australia, but I can't, you know what I mean? I've got felony charges. So, probably somewhere in South America for sure.
South America?
I mean, I go around here sometimes. There's really not a lot out here.
Really?
Yeah,
In Virginia?
and stuff like that, but I mean, there's a lot of garters, a lot of decays, a lot of rat snakes. I mean, it's just stuff. If you grow up around it, it's not as interesting. You know what I mean? You catch 100 of them, and it's just not the same. You got to kind of. I mean, I'd like to go out west. You know what I mean? Texas,
that is fun.
Stuff like that.
When you start finding rattlesnakes, you're like, this is cool. So,
for sure.
All right, and I guess the last one would be, what was your coolest reptile moment, whether it be breeding, herping, or keeping?
I don't know, man. Probably getting one of the, like, I don't know, probably one of the times maybe one of the times I bought a bigger snake, like a big adult worm or a tick, getting something like that and taking it out of the box, it's just, with the worm, it's just laying there, but with the retic, it comes flying out of the bag all over the room,
Right.
Takes you for a ride right when you get it out. Yeah. Gotcha. Cool. I guess, do you have a website, Instagram, Facebook stuff, anything you want to toss out there for anybody who can find you, follow you?
I got Instagram, Convicted Constrictors, and then you can find me on Facebook, Jake Freeman. Those are the two easiest places to get a hold of me.
Cool. Anything else you want to toss out there real quick before we let you go?
I think that's it.
All right, dude. Well, this has been awesome. Like, thanks for coming on with us and chatting on the whole snake thing. And, good luck with this season. We'll keep us posted on those hypogranite stuff.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
we'll talk to you soon.
All right. See you.
All right. So housekeeping for us.
Okay. Carpets and Coffee has combined with a cold-blooded caffeine, and we have our NPR blend.
It's only taken 11 years for us to get a sponsor, but here we are.
Yeah. Kind of. Yeah.
Or collaboration thing. Yeah.
Collaboration.
Yeah, there we go.
Probably,
it's our first collaboration in 11 years.
So, so just so everybody knows, $1 of every bag sold is donated to wildlife conservation in coffee producing countries, which is awesome. Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to check it out, you can go over to coldbloodedcaffeine.com and you can use the promo code NPR. We'll have a referral link in the show description so you can follow it from there and use the NPR code and you'll get 10% off.
Nice.
So check it out.
Yeah.
As far as everything we have going on. Subscribe to all the different podcasts on the network.
Mm-hmm. The YouTube channel.
And YouTube channel. Please subscribe. Our goal was to get to 1,000 by the end of the year. Let's see if we can hit that.
We'll see.
Instagram, Facebook. We're pretty close. We're at 945. It's like so close.
Sweet. People just go start making accounts and liking it. It's fine. Yeah,
yeah, I guess so.
Yep.
If that's how it goes. So yeah, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and NPR Network.
Cool. Did you mention the Teespring store?
I did not.
Okay. Go to the Teespring store. There's stuff over there. NPR stuff, Rogue Reptile stuff, EP Morelia stuff, Carpet Fest stuff, Carpet Fest.
Yeah, we only got a couple of weeks to figure that out. We better have a meeting. We better have a meeting at some point after the holiday.
You and I have a meeting very quickly.
Yes, yeah, I got some things lined up to talk about. Like where are we going with?
Yeah, we need to.
Carpet
do that.
Fest being one of them.
Yeah. I keep the veiled threats against my life if we don't figure out Carpet Fest keep coming. So we'll figure that out soon. Other thing would be you can go to roguereptiles.com. I am shutting down shipping. I'm done. So if you want to come pick something up, cool. If not, you're going to have to wait. When I got an email today from Redline Shipping saying they're not shipping any animals out, they're like, "No, you're not doing it." Yeah.
Oh, really?
They sent an email. They sent an email saying they're like, "Listen, there's a holiday. There's this, there's that." They're like, nothing. They said that they're only going to turn on insurance sporadically depending on the weather till January 10th.
Wow. Okay.
It makes sense. Like, dude, like I'm probably going to delete all my ads off of Morph Market because there's no sense in selling anything right now because a lot of people are like, can you ship it to like Los Angeles? And then they run away when I say, yeah, it's going to cost you $90. But it's like, yeah. So I'll probably be shutting down.
This gig's getting expensive, man.
Yeah, man. But if you are in the tri-state area or going to be at any of the major reptile shows in the tri-state, I can have animals delivered. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Other than that, I think that's all we have for everybody tonight. So we say thank you all for listening, and we'll catch everybody next week for some more Morelia Python Radio. Good night.